Hi, my name is Tamara, and I am addressing this video to the owner of Blue Sun. We had a really bad experience, and we were told to send an email to you, but I thought it would be better if I just speak my heart, and you can call me if you have any questions. But I have a 26-year-old son, and pretty soon after you opened your first Blue Sun, we would try to make it out there every couple years from Buffalo. And when we had visitors from out of town, we'd take them to Blue Sun. It was just kind of a big deal to make a special trip out there. So years later, my now boyfriend, we've been together for a few years, he got my son a gift card for Blue Sun, and it was in the amount of $20. He gave it to him, I think, for his birthday or Christmas or something. It was a few years ago. And because we don't get to Blue Sun very often, my son just kind of held on to it for the next time he could get out there. He is 26, but he has autism, and so he doesn't drive. Now he does, but he hasn't until only recently. It's high-functioning autism, so it's really about awkwardness in social situations, and I have learned through the years to advocate and use his story to educate others when I can. So my son, now driving, remembers that he has this gift card, and he goes out to your Richfield location, and he tries to use the gift card, and it wasn't working. And him, not knowing how to navigate this unique situation, just paid for his things and left. And he spent quite a bit of money there. He bought, I think, 24 bottles of soda. I don't remember. But he comes home, says that the gift card didn't work. He wasn't sure what to do, so he just paid. And he thought it was a $50 gift card. All that aside, neither here nor there, he goes back the next weekend, and it was, by the way, we live in Buffalo, so it's quite a distance, so we only can really get out there on the weekends. So he goes the next weekend, and when he walks in, it was the same girl working, and she says, "Oh geez," when she sees him. Not a great welcome. He again buys some soda, I think. I don't remember if he bought soda that time. I think he did. And then the card didn't work again. And I would have thought that in that week that there would have been some discussion had, and she would have had some protocol to follow so that if he came back, she would know what to do to honor the gift card that he had. And that didn't happen. So my son came home, and basically the take home was it didn't work again. He didn't know what to do, so later that week I called and I spoke with the store manager. It was a woman, and she said she was aware of the situation, and she only worked weekdays. And I said, well, that's not acceptable, because there needs to be a system in place so that people can use their cards. And she says, well, I do work this Saturday until 1. So we made a special point to go with him. Oh, she also told me that she had to be there so she could call the owner, so the owner could look up the card information and tell her what was the balance, so that then they could redeem that amount, which is understandable, but she shouldn't. I mean, what happens if she's not there and a gift card comes in? You can't redeem it? That's not acceptable. There needs to be some system in place. And this is basically what I tried to say. My boyfriend also added that since my son had now had to go in 3 times, and on the 3rd time we had to go in to help him to navigate this, that it was only right if he got a discount or an extra $5 or something in product to make it right for him. And the store manager had kind of, I don't remember what she said, but it was kind of non-committal. In the meantime, she goes off and she's talking to, I think, you on the phone, and I, with my son, I'm telling the cashier lady I said, this is really frustrating and it shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen to the average person, but my son has a disability which makes it difficult for him to navigate these situations, and it's not okay that I should even have to be involved. And I was trying to get to that point. My son rightfully got embarrassed and kind of walked away, but I mean, again, that's your guys' fault that I even have to go to this point to explain to you how egregious this is. And he walks away, and I turn back to the cashier lady, and I kind of whisper that he has autism. And she says, I also have a kid with autism. And I said, okay, so you saw it and you get it, because his autism is admittedly very mild. And I said, so you get it, you understand? And she says, yes. And mom to mom, you shouldn't say those things. She says, you embarrassed him. And I looked at her like, are you kidding me? I said, what I said was, I really don't appreciate you telling me how to parent and advocate for my kid. Because my whole point in that was, this shouldn't happen to the average person, let alone somebody who has these invisible disabilities and doesn't know how to stand up for themselves and doesn't know how to push through when things get uncomfortable and to advocate, self-advocate. And the fact that my kid got embarrassed about that probably is further proof that he is just going to avoid those situations rather than stand up for himself. And so here I am standing up for my kid, and her take home was to tell me how to behave in public, which I already was trying to be discreet, and it was literally just us in the store. There were no other customers. So he was just uncomfortable, and she had no right to step in and tell me how to stick up for my kid. I just said, I don't appreciate you telling me how to parent and how to advocate for my kid. And I just stood there for a minute, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk away. So my boyfriend walks with me for a minute, and I said, I can't believe she just said that. And he says, yeah. And so the manager comes back from the back area. My boyfriend walks in, and he handles the rest of it. He had asked for that discount. She had implied that it would happen. It didn't happen. He got his $20 back, and my son was walking back up to the counter, and my boyfriend said something like, what you said was inappropriate and uncalled for. And he would have said more, but he didn't want to further embarrass my son. And so as we were leaving the store, my boyfriend apologized to my son for the whole situation, because he's the one that bought the gift card for my son. And I'm just really I'm disgusted. I don't know that I will ever step into a Blue Sun, and certainly will not step into that Blue Sun. And when my boyfriend came out and handed me a business card and a sticky note, he said that we have your email address to send to you, and my goal is to send this video to you so you can see from our perspective what happened. I think I could try my best to write a letter, but it would take me 10 times as long and be draining. It's already difficult to raise kids with disabilities and to constantly be advocating for them. And then the added difficulty of trying to write a letter and get this context in words and not overwrite. I tend to write more words than I need and make sure that you're going to be able to understand what my point is. But the reality is I am a licensed professional. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a case manager. My job is to help people navigate their health, help people navigate the healthcare system and the social services system and get their needs met. And so if anybody knows how to advocate for my son, it's going to be me, especially with my professional background and experience. I'm a certified case manager, to be clear. And to have somebody who is easily 15 years younger than me you know, correct my parenting is more than overstepping and was very offensive and inappropriate. And I want that person to be talked to. I want my son to be compensated for the now 3 trips that he made to your store, each one more uncomfortable than the first. And to be greeted with a, "oh geez," is not okay. And then while we were there were people that came in and left and didn't stick around, but she would always say, "hey fam," or "welcome family," or something like that. And it was disingenuous at most, at best. It was to hear her welcoming people, saying, "welcome family," and then treat us the way that she did was just a further slap in the face. So I welcome your call. I will keep this video private. I will possibly share it with others depending on the outcome of this. I guess what I would like is that you have a system in place so that other people don't have to go through this. I know that my boyfriend and I found, we went to Britt's Pub, and he had a gift card that was easily 15 years old, and he had called into the number on the back of the card and got the most recent balance and wrote it on the card. And when we got to Britt's Pub, they didn't have access to that, or easy access anyway, and they just honored the amount that was on there, that we said was on there. And it should be seamless for the I wanted to say patient. It should be seamless for the customer. It shouldn't be this difficult to use money that was essentially a free loan to you, to hold on to money until my son got around to spending it, and it shouldn't be this difficult. Thank you for your time. So I gave my boyfriend the opportunity to speak up, and he said I covered everything, but the bottom line, I guess, is that this should have been easier than it was. And when I pointed out how awful this was for my son, by pointing out that he has an invisible disability, that the lesson, the take home for the woman was to not hear that and instead, admonish me? Is that? Shame me for stating the truth,
I guess everything's your fault, huh?
Everything is my fault. It's just, this was an awful experience. I don't know that I will ever shop at your stores again, but definitely not that one. So, thank you for hearing me out.